Welcome to another video, guys. I'm Kris05 and today I'll be talking about the upcoming Descent of Dragon nerfs and what you can expect from them. This bad boy can fit so many broken cards in it. The first few days of the new meta showed that there is an obvious problem with Shaman, and it's really strange that Blizzard actually let the expansion drop like that, but at least they're gonna address it faster than usual. I did tell you in a few of my last videos that a nerf wave like this was inevitable in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the new expansion, but this time it's gonna drop even faster, and they're setting up records going under 2 weeks. I hope you did take my warning seriously and you didn't craft too many of the new cards, because I'm afraid that this time the dust return from the nerfs is not gonna be too great for the guys that decided to go for Galakrond Shaman. As you know, when nerfs hit, you get to disenchant all of the copies of the nerfed card for its full dust value. That is the main reason I never press the mass disenchant button as well. Anyway, there are several cards that can get nerfed, and now we will go through them. I don't believe that all of the cards I'm gonna talk about will get nerfed, but it's probably gonna be a combination of 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 of those nerfs or similar ones. Now, let's see what cards are in the danger zone. The first card on my list would be the Shaman Galakrond himself, which is pretty bad news for the people who actually decided to craft that deck. I do suspect that Blizzard might be generous about this situation though, and it actually might give full dust refund for the Shaman Invoke cards as well, without even touching them, so there's still hope. There are a couple of ways that Galakrond can get nerfed here. The first one would be the hero power, which just feels a little bit too strong compared to the other 4. The Shaman Galakrond has the most impactful invoke, which is the 2-1 Rush Dude. It should feel a lot less oppressive if the Rush Dude was, let's say, a 1-1 instead. When it's a 2-1, it just trades too good with the early boards, and it's not exactly fun. The other way the nerf can go here is for those humongous 8-8 Rush Dudes. Dropping 16-16 worth of stats with Rush as soon as turn 7 and having a 5-2 weapon with it is quite the value, and it seems like that Shaman is the most reliable class to get the invokes that fast. The nerf here would be to drop the Rush Dudes to 6-6 instead. That would be a step in the right direction, but I'm not sure that would be enough to tone down the insane win rates of this deck. Now let's see the supporting Galakrond cards. First up is Invocation of Frost, aka Glacial Shard on a stick. Now, if you remember correctly, Glacial Shard wasn't a bad card for both aggro and control decks alike. For 1 mana, you stuck a body on the board and you controlled the board as well. Well, here you do the same, but you have also the option to value trade as well, and you even advance your Galakrond. This is a pretty solid package for a 1-drop, don't you think? A simple fix here would be to bump the mana at 2, and I doubt people will stop playing it. Next one would be Corrupt Elementalist, a 5 mana free with 2 2-1 Rush Dudes. Balanced as hell. If the card was just that, I think people would still find a place in their decks for it, but giving your Galakrond 2 invokes at the same time? I mean, come on. Sounds like a 6 mana territory to me, at least. This is the most reliable invoke card from all of the classes, and it doesn't even have a downside. I do hope this one doesn't go under the radar, because I have 10 copies of it, 2 of which are golden, so that would be 2400 dust easy for me just from that. And the last invoke-oriented card for Shaman would be the Dragon's Pack, giving the poor Shaman 2 5-6 taunts if you have invoked twice. Here, the nerf would go either for toning down the bodies to 4/5s or bumping the mana up to 6. It would still be a strong card, and let's not forget you can double it with Electra, which right now is almost as busted of a turn as if you played Galakrond himself. So these are the new Shaman cards that I think are in danger, but there is one old offender which has been under Blizzard's radar for far too long, Mogu Fleshshaper. He does feel a lot like the Corridor Creeper from the past, and that guy took a huge nerf, so I don't know what they're waiting for this guy. He was the main reason for Shaman to be top tier last season with and without the wild cards, so dropping his HP maybe down to 2 would definitely make him feel a lot more balanced. Right now, you get to do a good value trade with him and mutate it into a crazy 8-drop as soon as turn 3 or 4, which feels less than amusing for the opponent. Some might think that bumping his mana up to 8 will fix the problem, but I think it will break him even further, bringing him to that 9 mana mutate zone. Moving down to a neutral card that also might get nerfed, Faceless Corruptor. This guy proved to be quite the value house, and that was pretty obvious as soon as this guy got revealed. I told you in my last video, before the new expansion dropped, that this guy is probably gonna get nerfed, so I hope you guys didn't disenchant any of your copies of it. It's just too good, and basically any deck can fit it in his package. It feels a lot like the Giggling Inventor from a few expansions ago, and we all remember how hard the hammer swung for that guy. In this case, I think it's just gonna go up to 6 mana again. It's still gonna be pretty strong, but I guess that's the theme of this expansion. And now let's talk about another deck that might start feeling a bit too oppressive after the shamans are lower on the ladder: Pirate Warrior. You might think that this deck is fine, since it doesn't have that amazing of a win rate. But if you look closely, you will see that the only reason that this deck doesn't have an amazing win rate yet is actually shamans. If we start seeing less shamans on the ladder, I think Pirate Warrior might become the monster from its past, and a lot of people will hate that. If the corruptors do get nerfed, sure, that would tone down the deck a bit, but that is not the main reason it is that strong. The main problem seems to be HR. It's just a little bit too strong, giving Pirate Warrior that extra steam it needs as soon as turn 3 or 2. I think if they bump it to 4 mana, that would be better, because it's gonna be a bigger punishment keeping it in your mulligan. And also, playing it on turn 4 should give your opponent some chance to fight back. It just has an absurd win rate when kept, played and drawn, so it's the obvious target for a nerf if Blizzard decides to act on Pirate Warrior now or in 1 month. So these are the cards that I think are in most danger of getting nerfed. Again, I don't think all of these nerfs will hit, or should hit, but a combination of 3 or 4 of those is pretty plausible. We should have more information about it as soon as Tuesday, and I do believe it might drop as soon as Thursday. Let's just hope that Blizzard really does give dust refunds for all of the cards affected, meaning even the invoke cards for Shaman, even if those don't get touched. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get some sweet extra dust from the nerfs. A like and a subscribe is always appreciated. Thanks for watching. I'm Kris05, and I'll see you in my next video.